So let's go ahead and look at the top down here. I'm just reading my my structure on my computer here. I went ahead and just really, roughed this out even more. I wanted to just make sure that I'm noticing the most important angles. And I don't think there's anything wrong with us going back and simplifying this and refocusing on certain things. Some of you were very exacting. I want to see if you can match up. Imagine, where are my shapes? And so this was the major angle that I started with. I started with this on the side of the face. So let's go ahead and get this over here. She has a very angular face, and I think it is anyway. And so we can see that we can easily match up some of these very important angles. And then there's a bone structure here for her cheek, which goes back up this way. Fortunately, her hair. It may not be the same thing with every single subject, but in this case, look at what I've got. I've got this and I've got this. I'm going to try and go ahead and see if I can make a color show up. These are a few of the things that I wish that I had had a chance, to maybe do before the class to make sure that it shows up on camera, and I didn't have that opportunity. But let's just take, I have several of these printed out. Let's just look at this. Can you see that? Now we have that major angle. That's a lot easier to match up than just going over here and expecting my drawing to start out any old way, and maybe I don't even pay any attention to that. I see it's an angle, but I'm going to make it straight up. Well, look at how different that's going to be right off the bat for trying to capture the uniqueness, that shape of her head. I want to try and get this as accurate as I can. And so when I'm looking at my my paper, at the very least, I can go ahead and get my reference parallel with my paper, even if I want to. But I also want to see what I can notice without having to do this. But I can go ahead and I can look right down this, and I can see pretty much freehand. I have that major angle now. And so I want you to be able to visualize that as well, because that is an extremely important part. So I would like you to take one of these photo references and see if you can find the shape that's going to be best for you. And then notice things like this. We have a very symmetrical face in one way, but there's some real important hidden things. I want to know where the eyes line up in this. I don't want this to be where my eyes lined up because they're above that. But now, are my eyes at an angle? Remember how I've said that little angle is often what I will start off with the straight edge and divider method, because it creates a little bit of an attitude, a personality. And I think one of her eyes is a little higher anyway. It's not that she has her head tilted, but I want to be able to see how that is. Now I'm going to take the nostrils. I just want to do this so that we can kind of see how things change. And if we don't pick these up, we're going to maybe make the same angle all the way through, or assume it's perfectly horizontal. Obviously, it is not. So let's go through the mouth and let's see this again. These are things that I would like you to just start noticing and see what you missed when you drew your drawing out. And now start looking for those things and those little subtle differences when you are going ahead and visualizing it as you put it on freehand. This right here, look at how different her nostrils are. It's much wider over here, and it comes down to a vanishing point over here. So we don't have a symmetry in that way, in that her nostrils, these are at a different angle, and then this is at a steeper angle. And then her mouth isn't near as severe as that. And then look at what happens here. I know that it's an arc on the chin. I mean, there's a curve like this. It isn't totally flat, but for the most part, I can get the sense of the structure of her chin. And look at what's happening here. It is actually opposing everything else. It's going the other direction. There's not another thing that lines up on her face that's going that way. If I miss that, and I didn't have time, and it wasn't my focus to be able to refine my drawing last week, but those are the kind of things that even though I got these major angles and whatever, I didn't have a chance to really show that angle here as much. You can make those adjustments when you all of a sudden realize, oh, there's something wrong. There's something different about this. What is it? And I want you to be able to learn how to put your finger on it so that you can nail this uniqueness about this woman.